We're gonna do the.
Welcome to the Diary of Dating Over 50 with Tanya R. Lewis, the hottest dating show on social media, hosted by the sassiest model of them all, Tanya R. Lewis. Are you 50 and single, dating or waiting to mingle? Be a guest on the Diary of Dating Over 50 with your host, Tanya R. Lewis.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Hello. Hi, this is Tanya R. Lewis with the Diary of Dating Over 50. Welcome, 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 guys. So you all been waiting for this interview for quite some time. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself first, and then we're going to dig right into this. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Tanya. My name is Steve Moore. I'm a native of Atlanta. Grady baby.
You are native.
I'm a Grady baby. Born and bred. You know, back in the day, either you were born at Grady or you was born at home.
So no other hospital would take you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm an official Grady baby. There's not too many of us here, but yeah. I'm an
Grady
original.
baby.
Seen all the changes, yeah.
Wow. And it's not a lot of natives here of Atlanta. We all came from all over and just poured ourselves on into Atlanta.
Started after the Olympics.
Yes. Because I came here in the 90s. In the early 90s, I came here for the Bronner's Brothers Hair Show with my sister. That's when I came. That's my first time, my first introduction of Atlanta. I said one day I was going to live here.
Did you go to Jack the Rapper convention?
I was in the back, but I was when BMF did that part.
Oh, okay.
I was on the background, and I was right next to Michi when they filmed. I had my little 2 seconds of fame.
Wow.
So, all right, guys. So we're here today. We're going to talk about with Stephen, his love for Phyllis Hyman. He dated her quite some time ago. And he's never really shared his story. So he's going to share it with me. I feel so blessed and humble and fortunate to be able to talk to him about this love story. So let's dig right in because I'm so excited to talk to him about this. So my first question is, what were your first impression of Phyllis when you met her, and where did you meet her?
I first saw Phyllis at the Tuskegee homecoming.
Oh, wow.
She performed at their homecoming. It was probably around 1983. And I was in Tuskegee for some reason. I didn't know who Phyllis Hyman was, never heard of her. And she came onto the stage. She had a short cropped haircut, flowing black dress with shingles on it. And I was like, wow, I'm going to meet her one day.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And so about maybe 6 months to a year later, a relative of mine opened up a nightclub in Birmingham, Alabama. I think it was called the Fox Trap. And she was the opening act. And so I told him, I said, I want to meet her. He's like, okay, cool. So after the show, the club presented her with a bouquet of roses. And he said, well, you can go give her the roses. I was like, no, I want a personal introduction. He said, no, go give them to her. And so I went on stage with her and presented her the roses. And she thought they came from me. And so I was sitting at the bar afterwards, and her manager came up to me. He said, Phyllis wants to thank you for the roses. I said, well, they didn't come from me. They came from the club. He said, no, she wants to meet you. Wants to thank you for the roses. So Phyllis always has people, signing autographs afterwards. So I went back, and she said, just wait until I finish signing these autographs. If you want to hang with us, we're going to go eat something. We're not going to go back to sleep because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, cool. And so we hung out that night and went to Waffle House. And that's where I met her. Yep.
Okay. So you met her at a homecoming, and she was...
No, I didn't meet her at the homecoming. I met her at the club.
At the club.
I first saw her at the club, at the homecoming.
Okay. Okay. And you was just smitten at the time as soon as you seen her.
And I was young. I was young. I was like 26, 27 years old.
Wow.
And so by the time I drove back to Atlanta, by the time I got back to Atlanta, but those back in the days, so we had answer machines.
Yes.
She had used up my tapes.
She left that many messages on your machine.
She said, I love talking on these things. I'm just going to run it out. And
wow.
So, I wish I had been able to keep those messages.
Yeah, that would have been nice, nice to keep. Because I remember calling when my mother passed. I remember calling that number 868-3467. That was my mother's number, and I remember calling, just listening to "We're Not at Home." Da, 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 da. Yeah, so I understand. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, how did her presence impact you during your time together? When y'all first met, how did you feel? Because you didn't really know who she was, but you was with a star.
Well, I wasn't really starstruck. I was Phyllis Hyman struck.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Phyllis was 6'1".
Was she 6'1"?
Yeah, she was 6'1".
Women wasn't that tall back there in those days.
No, and there was just something there. Like I said, I was young. She was 8 years older than me.
Was she?
Yeah, she was. I was 27 when I met her.
Wow.
Yeah, she was 35.
Wow.
And so we started kicking it. I would go to New York. She would come here. One of the most memorable occasions was she came down to Atlanta for my. She came down to my grandmother's, where my grandmother raised me. So she came down to her birthday party. It was actually a family reunion and a birthday party. So that was one of my most memorable memories of her.
Wow.
But other than that, there was so much I didn't understand really until she passed.
Okay. So how did your relationship challenges or change your views on love and companionship? Because back there, love was pure back there. Now it's so diluted.
It was hard.
Okay.
It was hard loving Phyllis.
Was it?
Yeah, because she had a personality. I've always been a very tolerant person, and I didn't realize why she was.
You didn't understand the way she was.
I didn't understand why she was acting the way she was acting. Yeah. And
because one minute she would be this amazing person, and then the next minute she would kind of disappear into.
Well, she was literally disappearing. Yeah. Back then, she had a living manager. His name was Jimmy. I think we were probably two of the people that knew more about her than anybody.
Okay.
Jimmy would call me. I would, talk to him about what's going on. There was one occasion when I was up in New York working, and I had one of my workers with me. He wanted to meet her. I know how temperamental she was, especially about meeting people. And so I called Jimmy. I said, well, we're in town. We want to stop by. And this is after we broke up. But we actually became closer when we broke up.
Okay.
Because I told Phyllis, I said, I can't put up with this. I said, if we keep going this way, I'm not going to like you. And I love you too much not to like you.
Okay.
And so we became friends. Actually started calling me her little brother after that.
Oh, wow.
Because we would still go out and she would introduce me as her little brother, very protective. But anyway, he came in town and I called him and said we were going to come by and see her. So this is we were like an hour away. By the time we got to her apartment, got to the door and she cussed me out. And I was like, I just walked away. And Jimmy said, she's having a bad day. And that was temperamental. I mean, that was, she would do that so often. And I think I didn't, I was young. I didn't know why she was, I thought it was just, personality, issues. I didn't know anything about bipolar, manic depression.
So if you had known, if they had given it a name, like they has a name today, they have medication that can have a person more normal.
Well, Phyllis couldn't take the medication. Okay. It made her lethargic.
Okay.
That's why she self-medicated.
So, but if you had known what you know now about being bipolar, could you have did things differently?
I don't know. If you've ever dated anyone with bipolar disorder, manic, narcissistic behavior. It's hard.
Okay.
So they can be on medications. It's just hard.
Okay, so tell me about the good times y'all had. Tell me the good. Let's lighten this up.
Well, I went on the road with her
time.
for about a month. That was a good time. So we had a lot of fun together. Phyllis was very, very fun loving. She loved people. But one thing was funny. She would say she didn't understand why people loved her.
Wow.
She came to Atlanta once to visit me, and I had a friend that was at Spelman. They wanted to meet her. And so I said, Phyllis, we're going to go to Spelman because she wants to meet you. She's okay. I said, well, you probably have to sign some autographs. She said, ain't nobody going to recognize me. I said, are you serious? And so back then there was a guard shack when you drove into the campus. So when we was in a limo and the window was down just a little bit. So when we pulled up, the guard said, yo, Phyllis. And I said, that's one. And so we, went to the cafeteria, and all of a sudden they made an announcement. The Phyllis is on campus. We had to end up setting up a table out front to sign autographs.
Wow.
So she would say so often, she said, why do people love me? And we had talked about suicide. I didn't, when
y'all talked about it personally.
I didn't, you just, when people talk about it, you don't take them seriously. She said, this is my life. And when I'm ready to go, I'm going to take it. I'm ready to go. She said, I won't jump off a building because I might get messed up. She said, no, when I'm ready to go, I'll go. And there were times that we would talk, and we'd be on the phone for hours. I might get 4 or 5 words in. We just go from conversation to conversation to conversation to conversation.
So where was you at the day that you heard that she had passed?
I was on a road trip. I was traveling, and a friend of mine called. She said, your friend died. And I wasn't surprised.
Wow.
Because we had discussed it, and then I knew some things that was going on with her. And so when I heard the note that she wrote, I understood. She said, I'm tired. She was just tired. There was a lot that she was dealing with that I understood why. I wasn't surprised. I don't think anybody that was really close to it was surprised.
They were surprised.
On the Unsung episode had this guy that said she called him. And she was talking to him about how she was ready to go and she was going to, take her life. She didn't call anybody that would call somebody else.
I remember you talking to me about that.
Yeah.
She didn't call anyone that would have came and saved her or tried to anyway.
Exactly. Try to intervene, And there was people that she could have called.
Wow.
I think she was just, she was just ready to go. I wasn't surprised, but, I was hurt, of course, but,
was it a shock? It wasn't a shock to you.
Did
you go through some emotions? Did you grieve, or were you at her funeral?
I went to the memorial service. In New York.
Okay.
Yeah. To be perfectly honest with you, it's hard listening to her music.
Is it? And one of your favorite songs is "Over the Moon."
Over the Moon. That's one she that was one of the last songs, and I think it it's kind of weird. I envision meeting her on the moon. That's why it's one of my favorite songs. There was an occasion when I was traveling. I was doing some work with a government project, and I had to deliver furniture to a different state, and we were doing back-to-back trips. So I had to end up doing 2 trips, and I had not, I really hadn't come to terms with it. And I was tired, just dead tired. And I put her music in, and I just reminisced and drove for like 6 hours listening to her music.
Just listening to her music.
And I always say, I think she saved my life, because otherwise I would have went to sleep.
So tell me the relationship that she had with your children. She adored you. She became my daughter's godmother. The godmother. Right.
She loved kids. Yeah. I think one of the pictures I showed you of her and Stephanie.
Yes.
She loved kids. She had family all over the country. She had, different family members. At one point she said that Stephanie was hers because they kind of favorite.
Wow.
Yeah. When I got married, my ex-wife knew her. She was a big fan. And she said, well, I heard her listen to her music. I said, Phyllis. She said, well, I don't really know the artist, but I just, I like the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it's a good friend of mine. And she said, well, you're right. You're just trying to impress me. I said, no. So I called Phyllis.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I want you to say hello to a friend of mine. And Jimmy told me, because we had not talked for a minute after we separated, because, she was doing a lot of different things. And I was kind of like going my own way. And Jimmy said that after that conversation, she was out of it for like 2 days.
Wow. Because you had gotten married.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it meant that much to her. Because Phyllis was real big about hiding her feelings. And I just, like I said, I was young.
Yeah.
So I wasn't thinking it on that level. I just felt, we're broken up, we're friends, I'm going to go on with my life. Mm-hmm. I think I was one of the few people that Phyllis respected.
Okay.
Because she knew she couldn't handle me a certain way. A lot of people would deal with her and take a lot of the stuff because she's Phyllis. And she had a tendency to be abrasive sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I just wouldn't put up with it. There were times that she would, be mean. I wouldn't call her. And she'd call my mom because her and my mom were very close.
She called your mother on you, huh? Stephen won't talk to me.
Exactly. She said, will you please tell him to call me? Yeah. I mean, they were real close. Yeah.
Were you were in love with her deeply? Mm-hmm. Now, did that affect your marriage in any kind of way? Because you told me about this picture that you had.
I wouldn't take it down. Yeah.
You wouldn't take it down. I had a light over it.
I had a light over it. I think it did kind of affect my marriage, but I wasn't going to take it down.
Your wife wanted you to take that picture down?
Yeah, she wanted me to take it down. I wasn't going to take it down.
And it had the light over it, and it was in your office on the impact wall when you walk in, and there's Phyllis sitting right there.
Yeah, I wasn't going to take it down. Wow. It's strange that I hadn't talked about this, and it's been 35 years. And I guess I'm okay, but when I started talking about it, I got more emotional now than I did back then. I don't know if it's because I'm older now, and I think it might have some. I feel some type of guilt.
Yeah, you told me you feel a little guilty about it. What do you feel guilty about?
Because I didn't talk to her.
Okay.
When we stopped talking, I think she hit a downward slope. Not to say it was because of me, but it was that time frame. It was because there was times she talked about Clive Davis, that whole situation. When she talked, she hated him.
So one of the reasons I read somewhere, and I also seen the video. Don't know how true that is because you got to be careful with the videos that you see. But he was trying to force her to go pop.
Right.
And she was true to the nitty gritty R&B.
Yeah, I mean, she was
rhythm and blues.
Yeah, rhythm and blues. I mean, she was. I can't imagine wanting her to go pop. That wasn't her base at all.
Did she talk to you about that?
Well, I listened about it.
Okay.
Because she would go. I'd say Phyllis is not talking. She would get so angry she just almost come to tears. I said, Phyllis, don't talk about it. But I should have listened more because she was venting. That's what was going on. She was venting.
But you were young, and
really
and it's hard to get to that point where you get outside of self and allow yourself to just listen. Right. Because as women, sometimes we don't need you to make it to comment. Exactly. We just need you to listen.
Yep, listen.
And so your guilt is you feel a little guilty because you weren't there, and because you thought you should have listened a little.
I should have listened. I should have during the time frame that I had her picture, I should have stayed in contact with her. But on the other hand, I was trying to be respectful of my marriage.
Of your marriage. Yeah. Yes. Now did she ever want to marry and have children?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Not after her first marriage. I knew about other relationships that she had. And I knew that wasn't going to work. There was one in particular that she had that I think it really hurt her afterwards. And I know it did. And he just disappeared, because I think that he kind of got tired of the emotions and everything. It was very hard to deal with. I always said it was easy for Phyllis to perform, but hard for her to live.
She could. She would live on that stage.
She lived on stage. When
That's
she came
where
off the
she
stage,
was the
that's
most comfort.
Yep. When it came off the stage, that was it.
But that's how some artists are. Some artists, they're secure and amazing and wonderful when they're in their art and their craft. But when it comes to life on life's terms, it gets be kind of hard for them.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, because I would go to New York all the time and visit, and she would say, "You need to watch me." And that meant that when she got to a certain point, it was time to go. And Phyllis would drink martinis by the pitcher, So that was, I don't know. I've reminisced more probably in the last 4 or 5 days than I have in a long
think
time.
it probably when we set this up and we start talking about this about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's bringing up these emotions. If you had to go back, and change some things, in you all's relationship, what would it be?
I would have listened more and been more proactive. Looking back, there was times that she needed me to be there physically, not just, just communicating. And I probably would have centered more of my life around her than just, saying, she's being a certain way to not deal with it and just go my separate way. Been more proactive, probably try to be there in a way that she could have used me rather than just listen.
How do you keep her legacy and her memory alive today?
Because some of those songs relate to me.
They do. Some of her songs relate to you. Okay. I have some of the pictures, and we're going to drop some of the pictures. There we go.
Oh, that was at the my grandmother's birthday party and our family reunion.
Okay. Can we drop another one? I loved her. She was the icon of that hat right there. She brought that. She wore that better than anybody did.
That was her crown.
That was her crown.
That was a crown. Yeah.
Oh my.
That was a crown. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize they thought it was just hats. That was a crown.
And look at you looking like Teddy.
That was at Club 131 on Peachtree.
Oh, that was here in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was in Atlanta.
So you walked in the club with her like that? Was she performing, or y'all just walked in the club?
No, we were just hanging out. She would come to Atlanta just to visit a lot of times.
And y'all walked in the club, and all eyes was on y'all
all the time.
Wow.
That was on Peachtree. That was another.
So explain this collage.
This is my mom. The one up on the right, that's at the. It actually poured down rain, so her hair she ended up turning her hair back.
Phyllis here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the one with the balloon, that's my grandmother who raised me. The one there to the left is that was a club on North Avenue. I always say the guy in the background was you can't really see him,
but it's a guy back there.
Yeah, he had a terrible look. He was like, he didn't like it. And then the other pictures of my mom.
Now, is that your grandmother? The one in the pink and the lavender suit?
The one with the balloon, that's my grandmother. The lavender, the pink, that's my mother. Yeah. And that's when she flew down to Atlanta. Well, she was in Atlanta to perform. She went to the school until she took her to lunch. Pulled up in the limo.
She pulled up in the limo in front of the school.
Lunch. Yeah. So
your mother was a celebrity for a day.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's her. That's at the school.
That's when she went to the school right there. Oh wow. Now, who is that in the white dress down?
Those are all my mom.
That's all your mom.
All my mom.
Wow. So how did your mom feel about Phyllis?
She didn't really know her as a singer.
She just thought she was good.
Yeah, she just thought it was Phyllis. Yeah. Because I'm sure they had conversations that they didn't tell me about. It was kind of interesting because my mom was a recovering alcoholic.
Oh my.
So who knows what they talked about?
I'm sure she they say you spotted, you got it. So I'm sure she wanted to help Phyllis in a way, because in recovery, that's your mission.
I know one thing as I look back. I don't know what it is with men and women.
Okay, come on.
I mean, seriously, the women that have been in my life of any type of serious relationships have all had some type of emotional disorder.
Well, the common denominator
is me. I know it's me. You know, I mean, from MS to bipolar, manic depression to narcissistic behaviors.
Do you think that you attract those type of women that you're comfortable with because you need to fix them?
I don't know. I mean, you always meet the representative.
But the representative gone after 90 days. The representative is tired.
Yeah, but,
they don't want no more of being fake.
Yeah, but I think I've been one to deal with it. You know, I don't just kick it to the curb and say, you're crazy or you're this or you're that.
Well, maybe that's the reason because
most people would just probably kick it to the curb,
especially with them red flags go off early on.
Yeah, and I've got my demons too because of the way I grew up. I grew up without a father figure. I didn't have any parentage. So I've always been one to say, I'm not going to let my kids experience what I experienced. So I've probably been more tolerant than a lot of guys have been. They, rather than just kick it to the curb, and I've always tried to treat women the way I knew my grandmother would want me to treat women. I don't believe in disrespecting them or whatever. So maybe just being a lot more tolerant. But I've come to realize that the women in my life have always had some kind of issue.
Because you just had a son about 8 years ago.
Yeah, exactly 8 years ago. Yeah.
And you have full custody of this baby.
I have full custody of him, got custody without an attorney, and I've not been in a relationship since he was born.
Oh my.
Nope,
y'all ladies, y'all hear that?
Not even close. Mm-mm.
Are you ready for a relationship?
I don't think it's a matter of I'm ready. I don't know if the relationship is ready for me.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
I mean, and I understand it's difficult for a woman to date a 68-year-old man with an 8-year-old because a lot of women, because a lot of women, I've lived my life, I've got grandkids, I got whatever, and I understand that. I totally, completely get it.
So you just have surrendered to the fact that that you're not even trying to be in a relationship because you think every woman don't want to raise an 8-year-old. I
wouldn't say that. I would say that I'm open to a relationship if they would accept me and my son.
Definitely got to accept both. It ain't nowhere
without
around
a doubt.
that.
Yeah. And I've had, it's funny, when they meet him, they're more attracted to him than they are to me, car or something else. But I've really come to the realization that this might be it. I may not be in a relationship.
You might forever. Just be Carter's father, raise him, and that's it.
And I'm good with that.
Wow.
It's not healthy.
No, that's some acceptance.
It's not healthy at all.
Yeah.
Because aside from relationship, a lot of other things that have not happened in 8 years. So,
tell.
Let's just say I have one of the best products in the industry that I'm not able to utilize it. I'll put it to you like that.
Can't enjoy it yourself.
Can't enjoy it myself. And it's not healthy, but it is what it is.
In 8 years, you haven't had sex?
Not really. Mm-mm.
With yourself?
I take care of myself now. Yeah. I'm healthy, but no, I have not been in a relationship in 8 years.
Do you want to have sex?
Do I want to? Of course. Come on. I'm a man. Well, not only that, I believe knowing the business the way I know it, sex is healthy.
It is.
I'm going to tell you something. When we're young, as young men, we have wet dreams, okay, and we have an erection in the morning because we're healthy.
Yes.
The wet dreams are ways for sperm to be gone.
Yes.
Sperm is not meant to stay in.
Yes.
So it automatically is dispensed. And we have erections because we're healthy men. And so, it's funny that, one reason a lot of my customers realize my product's in their system because they wake up with an erection in the morning, which is something they haven't done in a long time. But as far as relationship is concerned, I would accept it if the situation is right. If the woman's right. Yeah, it's got to be right. But I'm not, like I say, I'm 68. If it happens, it happens. And one thing about it, you talk about meeting somebody new. All right.
Well, you met me.
I know I met you, but the time frame that it takes to get to know someone, that time is not there anymore. You know,
right.
it's either, you do it or you don't.
Yeah, it's difficult today because you put all your energy in this person that you meet, and then it doesn't work.
Exactly. So who wants to do that?
You're exhausted at that point.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
I've come to a realization that maybe there's just I would say that the most advantageous situation would be someone that we just understand each other and we're there for each other.
The understanding
of the support,
relationship,
the relationship
with
the
benefits,
support.
friends with benefits.
If you want to call it that, friends with benefits.
Is
because in this day and time, that's more beneficial now than it used to be.
Well, you know what? Let me say this. That used to be a cuss word to me.
Mm-hmm.
But today I'm more open.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it that way. But I'm at the point in my life where I enjoy intimacy and sex more than I did when I was younger.
Because that's natural for women. You start to increase in libido and we start to go the opposite way. For one reason is because we have health issues with prostate, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's just natural. But yeah, I just look at it as you get older, your priorities are different. I understand that my situation is different. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I've some people say I've got baggage. Oh, so be it. I got baggage. But one thing that I do say, even in my worst times, I'm better than most men.
Oh, do tell.
and I'm not saying that to be arrogant or egotistical. Mm-hmm. It's just based on my life experiences and how I feel about women.
Wait a minute. Now, let me, and I don't want to interrupt, but I want to get the full understanding of this. So you say, what's inside you that you know how to touch a woman in the most amazing way?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes with experience. Not to
give me an example.
Okay.
Okay.
If a woman has a clitoris, she can be excited. She can have an orgasm.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple.
Absolutely.
But so many men don't understand that if you do what you're supposed to do for her, she's going to do what she needs to do for you.
Absolutely.
But men are selfish.
Yes.
They don't want to do that. So
it'd be all about me.
Yeah. It should always be about you. It's just like my slogan, made for him, thinking of her.
Yes.
It's always about you. Whether we like it or not, it's about the woman.
Yes.
Whether you choose to believe it now or later, it's about you.
Okay. I like it all about me.
Always. Yep.
Okay. So, question. What aspect of personality or artistry do you cherish the most about Phyllis?
Oh my goodness. It was basically just a personality. Mm-hmm. She was just a very outgoing, good person. The demons were one thing, but her personality was something entirely different. And I guess that allowed me to look past a lot of the other stuff because I could see the good in her. She just had issues that were not in her control. And she could not take the medications that they have these days. Like I said, because they made her lethargic, she couldn't perform with it. So,
do you know if it was a family?
It was, yeah. I think it came from a mom, yeah.
Mom. Yeah. So, on one of her best days, what was her most cherished moment when she was healthy, and when you didn't see the manic or the bipolar?
When she was performing.
When she was on that stage.
Yeah, when she was performing, yeah.
When she was on that stage.
She was performing for the crowd. She loved entertaining the crowd. Like I say, it was easier to perform, but difficult for her to get off the stage. And that's it. She would turn to a different person sometimes once she left the stage. Go through staff like crazy.
She always changed her staff because they couldn't.
Yeah.
It's sad that they can put a man on the moon, but they can't fix mental health.
Well, they're getting closer to it. They just had different medications back then.
Yeah.
I think if they had something that would have allowed her to be able to perform and not make her lethargic. Yeah. See, she could perform, drinking alcohol or whatever,
but not
not the medication.
So what was the when did you find yourself? You woke up and one day I'm in love with Phyllis.
Hmm. Really, it was probably after she died.
Wow. After she passed,
The
you
feelings
realized.
came. Yeah, the feelings came out more after she passed. Yeah. Even it's crazy, but even more so recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've stirred up a lot of questions and a lot of
I've avoided a lot of it. Yeah.
yeah. And you have been so transparent and open. Why did you pick me to tell this story?
I think it was just timing.
Big time.
Just timing.
Oh, you just can say I was just wonderful old me.
No, well, just wonderful old you. It was
okay,
just you.
okay, that
worked. It was just you. It was just you. Mm-hmm.
No, but it was just time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you could change something, if you could change something about that mental health, if you could change that and take that from her, do you think you guys would still be together?
Oh, probably. Oh, yes, without a doubt.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
Why? Why do you think that?
Because it would not have affected our relationship as much. Okay. You know, I didn't want to deal with the moods, and the moods wouldn't have been there. Yep.
If she was she was more healthy.
Yep.
Wow. So, now you have an 8-year-old, and and people, and I hate to hear this, but we're on the last cycle of our lives. What and if Carter was, once he turned 18, do you think you would get into a relationship?
Well, it's got to be before then.
I don't know. You might live to be 100.
Well, it'll be before then. Yeah, it's got to be before then.
Yeah. Okay. Are you? Have you online dated?
I've dated. Just haven't found anyone that I want to deal with. Or want to deal with me, I guess.
So your ideal person, who would she be?
Kind of get back with you on that one.
I don't know. Come on. I mean, so okay, let's put it this way. She definitely wouldn't have no mental issues. But would she be your age?
Probably not.
You don't think so?
I feel some emotions coming up. Okay. Can I take a little?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. So we're going to come back. We're going to allow Stephen to kind of go through his emotions. You know, I am going to read my a part of my final thought. If anybody out there is thinking about suicide, and or you know someone struggling with suicidal thoughts, please reach out for help. Here are some resources that can provide immediate support. All you have to do is dial 988 and text them. It's a suicide in crisis lifeline. You can call or text that number. This is a national network of crisis center that provides 24/7 free and confidential support. There's also a crisis text line. It's called HOME. You text HOME to 74174. This service offers free 24-hour support as well. The Trevor Project, 866-488-7386. This organization provides crisis support for the LGBT cue young people. If anybody is out there dealing with suicidal thoughts, please don't call somebody. Call somebody that that you know will help. Don't call somebody that you know that's not going to say anything. Stephen is back with us.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, because this is not easy.
Mm.
This is not easy. This is something that you have not talked about probably this deep.
Not only that, I have not shed tears. You know, and to be perfectly honest with you, my grandmother and Phyllis has been the most important people in my life.
Your grandmother and Phyllis.
When my grandmother died, I didn't cry.
Wow.
When Phyllis died, I didn't
You
cry.
didn't cry.
And I don't know why it's coming up now.
And now you're a waterfall.
I'm a waterfall, you know.
But that's okay, because it's always in God's time.
Mm-hmm.
And now you know, you're purging, you're getting it out. And maybe at this point, after this, you'll be able to not feel guilty about it. You know, she would want the best for you.
Yeah. It's just, it's really strange. I was just talking to my cousin yesterday, and she was bringing up some things that have happened. And I guess, you know, we were closer than I realized, you know.
You and Phyllis were.
Yeah. And I think part of it was because I was young, and I see it differently than I saw it then. And it's been 35 years. How do emotions come up after 35 years? You know.
Lewis, can you drop that picture that is to Steve?
Oh yeah,
the one that has she has white on and it's in pink writing.
Yeah, if you look at the autograph pictures,
yes,
a lot of the words that she said. Yeah.
What did those? What did she say here?
She
was so beautiful. She had thick thighs like you. Yes.
It says to Steve, "I can't wait to see you. Our relationship has grown into a spiritually eventful one. I am grateful for that." That's when we were having a lot of conversations. Yeah.
When did she write this one? Can you put the other one up there too, Lewis? The one that she had the shimmery outfit. I like that outfit she had on. When did she write that one?
Which one? This one?
The one that just went off.
Oh my goodness. That was probably in 88, maybe. Yeah. I wasn't really, when she wrote, I wasn't getting the meaning of what she was writing. She was saying things on the pictures. I was just looking at the pictures. I didn't
really read it.
I didn't read what she was writing.
You were just looking at a beautiful woman.
Yeah. So I wasn't really coming to terms with what she was really saying. Yeah.
Would she want you to move on and find somebody?
Probably. I mean, that was Phyllis. Phyllis was
what's this one here? That I love this picture. That's the picture that you have in your house that you have. Yeah,
that's the one with the light over it. That's a 4 by 40 by 30 picture. Yeah.
40 by 30?
Yeah, it's a poster. It's a big picture. Yeah. It takes over half the wall. Yeah. What is that? I remember. So this is after she said it's been a long time since we've talked, but the phone calls were special. We talked. I
remember that hairstyle when it came out, and she wore it the best.
Yeah, yeah.
So this was after you guys weren't together anymore. And she sent that to you.
She had that made. Yeah.
Wow.
She had that made. Yeah. So I didn't get what was going on at the time. I was really kind of surprised because it showed up.
It just showed up.
Yeah,
she didn't even say.
This is a poster.
Right. Yeah, she didn't say she was sending it or nothing. It just showed up to your house. This big cardboard.
I think I called Jimmy at the time. And
who was Jimmy?
Jimmy was a live-in manager.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't even know about Jimmy. One reason, I think the main reason why I've been silent for so long, because I know this is what Phyllis would have wanted. Phyllis would be pissed off right now.
Why would she be pissed
off? She would be saying, you blanky blank blank blanks didn't want to pay me when I was alive. Now you're making money off of me when I'm dead. And so I've not said anything about it, you know. I out of respect for her, I think.
Who's making money off of her?
Everybody's making money, you know, trending. The last play they had in Atlanta, it was a joke because the only thing they showed was what they could legally show.
Does she have siblings?
Yeah, she had a brother and 2 sisters, I think. Yeah.
Are they still alive?
No, I won't discuss that.
Okay, no problem. So people are just making money off of her name and not
sampling
giving her
music.
any royalties.
Well, I'm sure her estate is being managed because Glenda is the manager of her estate, so I'm sure she's handling it the right way.
Okay.
But not even still, you know, I think I read somewhere that her net worth when she died was $500,000. If she was alive, it'd be $5 million. So,
oh wow,
something like that, yeah. And this is the time, you know, time for it. And everybody's doing things because of social media, trending and whatever.
Yes.
This whole deal with Clive Davis is coming back up, you know. I didn't know it was that big of a deal until, because I didn't know who Clive Davis was back then. And I just would hear her venting. You know, I wasn't really.
Because that was before Whitney. That was way before Whitney.
Yeah, I mean, she had left Arista when we met. I was right on the end of it. But she still had, you know, issues from it because she went from that to she started touring and doing a lot. Yeah. But it still affected her a lot. But you can't control Phyllis, you know, you just can't do it. You know, there was opportunities for her to make music that she passed on. What was the name? Tina Turner's song. Was Love Got to Do with It?
Phyllis wrote that?
No, she had the first option.
She had the first option to sing it.
Yeah. And she passed on, I think. Yeah.
What was her reason?
Because she thought it was too pop, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. So what is what's in the future
for me?
For Mr. Moore?
To be perfectly honest with you, when I'm trying to build a legacy for my son.
Yes, I because everything we talk a lot, it's about Carter.
Yeah, it's about Carter. Yeah. You know, I mean, I would like for someone to be here with me because I've always said a man is not truly successful unless he has the right woman in front of him. I don't believe that behind stuff because what the right woman does is keep us focused.
Yes,
you know, it keeps us on the right
motivate.
track.
Encourage, get in the trenches with you, and
if I had the right woman with me at some point in time, we wouldn't be talking. I'd be somewhere sitting on an island with about a few $1 billion in the bank. I've never had that woman. Never. I have what I have because of my father.
Is your picker broke?
No.
So who was your father? Let's talk about your father for about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, your father was who?
My father was Booker Terry Brantley.
Booker Terry Brantley.
Yeah, he owned the first Lincoln Mercury dealership in Atlanta.
Okay.
Owned Harrison's, the Atrium. We didn't grow up together. That was my mom's fault. My mom was an alcoholic at the time, and she made life very difficult for him.
Right.
I never blamed him because he did what he had to do, you know, for his family. But what I gathered from him is my business tech, my business knowledge and everything. But yeah.
So you think if your father had been around, things would have been different, of course.
I don't know. That's hard to say. I know being around my mom, no, because my mom wouldn't have made things easy. No, she was a functioning alcoholic.
And maybe that's the reason why you choose the women that you choose.
Maybe. I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it. Every single woman in my life has had some type of emotional or mental disorder.
Do you think you can handle a quote
normal
woman?
I could. I mean, because right now, I'm older, I'm more experienced.
You're aggressive a little bit too now.
It is what it is.
And I had to like, okay, Steve.
But that's my nature.
Yeah.
You know, that's where my father comes in. You know, I have what I have from him. I've gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom in my life. I've made, mistakes. I've taken risks. but I gained from it. I wouldn't change a thing,
Okay.
Because it's made me who I am today. When I found out that my son was my son, I knew that he was here for a reason. Yeah, I was old when he was born. It's like, but he was here for a reason. So I've got to make sure that he fulfills my legacy. And people say, well, will you retire? What's that? I would die if I retired.
You use your brain. When you can use your brain and not have to physically do stuff, you can work. But I don't think I'll ever stop working.
Yeah, I enjoy. I'm creative. I enjoy creating, whether it be a business concept or whatever. I enjoy doing.
You done gave me a lot of great ideas.
Yeah, that's just what I do. It's part of me. Right now, I have serious goals and ambitions for a new project that I have going on. So,
so if you could say something to Phyllis right now, what would you say to her?
I miss you.
Oh, you miss her.
Yep.
Wow. You miss her. Look at that. What's that? Is that her?
Oh, that's her program from her. She was cremated, but that's a program from her memorial service.
Was that when she was a little girl? She was tall, that little girl.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, that's it. That's from the program.
She wore hats like nobody else.
Hats and her crowns.
Like nobody's. Did she have a whole room?
Well, she had a designer that made them for her. Yeah, I forget her name. Yeah, she had a designer that made from. People that remember her, she always had a jewel. It was about this big, gigantic jewel goblet. I gave that to her. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she took it everywhere she went. Yeah.
Wow.
That and other things she always did. Took her shoes off. First thing she did, kick her shoes off.
Kick her shoes off when she came in.
Yeah, she was 12. She had big feet. Yeah.
Did she wear heels?
No, she didn't wear heels. No. Well, not what you consider heels. It's funny when Phyllis and I entered a room, everybody knew she was there.
Absolutely.
This one time, matter of fact, one of the guys in that picture, we were at Atlanta Nights, I believe it was. And after we stopped dating, we would still hang out, but I would more or less like be her overseer. And she enjoyed tempting guys. Not sexually, she just enjoyed teasing them.
Give him a little tease.
And so she would say, I want to meet him. So I go over and say, Phyllis wants to meet you. Oh, she wants to meet me? Oh, okay. And I'm saying to myself, it ain't about all that. And this guy actually went, we went out with him, and when we were getting ready to turn in for the night, he thought he was going to go to a room. He thought
he was coming with y'all.
Yeah. And he thought he was going to get a phone number, and she's like, where do you think he's going? And he looked all crazy. I said, what did you think was going to happen? He hung out with us all night long. It was just kicking
he just knew he was in.
I was like, no, it's not all about that. Wow. That, and then there was one occasion, they have little quaint bars in New York. Phyllis, Jean-Luc Young, and I think it was Duke Ellington's daughter, Turn It Out. They had people off the street coming in. They were just
in the club and they just started singing.
Just turn it out. She would do that often. Yeah. There's little quaint clubs that was in Atlanta. Yeah. Not in Atlanta, but in New York, she would do that with. Those were enjoyable times. I did a lot of work in New York, and every time I would go there, I would never take partying clothes. And she was like, why do you come here and don't bring partying clothes?
So she would go.
We always have to go buy clothes. Yeah. Something to party in.
Well, you know what, Stephen? I appreciate you allowing me to help tell this story with you.
I'm sure there's more.
And it probably is. We're gonna circle back around, but our time is up. And with closing thoughts, the love story of Stephen and Phyllis Hyman is a poignant reminder of complexities of love, mental health, and resilience. Their journey together was marked by deep affection, shared dreams, and the trials of Phyllis' struggle with bipolar disorder. This challenge tested their bond, yet it also illustrated the profound strength of their commitment to one another. Phyllis' battle with bipolar disorder brought moments of light and shadow, showcasing her vibrant spirit during manic phases and profound challenges during depressive episodes. Stephen stood by her side, offering unwavering support, but the weight of her illness was heavy burden. He learned the importance of patience, empathy, understanding, navigating through highs and lows with a love that never wavered. Her passing left profound void in Stephen's life, a reminder of fragility of existence and the depth of their connection. In the wake of loss, Steve faces the daunting task of moving forward. He can honor Phyllis' memory by embracing the lessons learned during their time together, cherishing the love they shared and the strength he cultivated through adversity. If someone out there that suffers from mental illness, please have patience with them. If someone out there that is saying they're going to take their life, take it seriously. Don't turn the other way. Don't ignore it. These people deserve to be loved. And today, it's better. It's more medication, and the medication is not so toxic on them. And I believe if we had it back in the day, a lot of people probably would still be here. So if you know someone that is in that's there, please reach out for help. I read the numbers and everything off earlier. But there's you can just call 911. There's somebody out there to help. I thank you all. I thank you, my listeners. We're going to be coming back soon. We're going to bring on an African-American pilot. I'm going to be interviewing. Her name is Veronica. And she's going to tell us her story of how she dated as a pilot and what she went through to be a pilot. And then you all know I'm going to Bali. We're going to talk about that later. I love you guys, and I will see you on next time on The Diary of Dating Over 50. Thank you.
The hottest dating show on social media, hosted by the sassiest model of them all, Tanya R. Lewis. Are you 50 and single, dating or waiting to mingle? Be a guest on The Diary of Dating Over 50 with your host, Tanya R. Lewis.